Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Coming to you live to tape 25 feet below the surface of the earth here at Chaos Corner on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, for another special episode today of this date, January 23rd, today in pro wrestling history. Perhaps one of the most iconic, most historic dates in pro wrestling history. So sit back and relax. It's another cold, damp, wet, wintry day here in the greater New England tri-state northeast area in the shadows of Titan Towers. It's going to be, as I usually say, an extravaganza, a bonanza here on Chaos Corner. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. No paywall, no Patreon, no Super Chats, no Venmo, PayPal, whatever the fuck it is that you use. It's you and me, the GOC. And in order to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself. Once you do that, you open other people's minds to respecting you. And remember, there's three types of people in this world. Those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened, and people like the GOC Big Daddy that make things happen. Shout out and acknowledgement and recognition to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If he's for us, no one else can be against us. Stay in faith, not fair. Situational awareness. And you know what I meant. Faith, not fear. Stay fit emotionally, mentally, physically, and especially spiritually. There's a lot of craziness going on in 2024, so let's stay positive. Meet me off all the other social media platforms and come on back here to Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, for today, this date in pro wrestling history for January 23rd. All right, fans. Not only here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, the Guardian of Chaos. Over on X, aka Twitter, in real time, it's at Big Daddy GOC, and the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos. On Facebook, there's two accounts. J Brony, for all you jabronis out there, just like it sounds, and Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian in honor of my heritage. My over 50 years as a historian, a scout, a researcher, an agent, a producer, a sweeper of floors, a putter up of rings, a fan, a smark, a mark. That's right, I said it, a mark. And my 3+ decades as a pro wrestling manager, pillar to post, coast to coast, and border to border. Hall of Famers, legends, heroes, veterans, rookies, young lions, champions. Take the fucking bumps as well as a pro wrestling manager, a la J.J. Dillon, Jim Cornette, Jimmy Hart, Freddie Blassie, Captain Lou Albano. The list goes on and on. I put myself as far as what I did, coming out 2 and 3 times a night, putting over my men, hyping the crowd, taking the bumps. I put myself in that category. And the list goes on. Gary Hart, Bobby the Brain Heenan, the best of the best. You don't like it? Change the fucking channel. Well, I apologize for cussing. I know I don't have to, man. So grab a beverage, grab a snack. Let's enjoy this historic day as I run it down here. And this will be uploaded to YouTube. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, get us in the algorithm, because I know, and you know that I know that you're watching. For everybody in the back. Let's go. We're right on that 1,000 subscribers, less than 25 away. Almost 500,000 total views, 2,500 videos. That's what you get here. I make it relatable for you, the fans, and bring you into my home, my Chaos Corner, the headquarters, the lounge, and here in the bunker. All right, fans. School is in session, and that's why you come here, for facts, to learn things, to keep things in historical perspective. You don't come here just for Joe Blow, chicanery, and entertainment, although that's what you get. You come here for actual facts, to learn something. Not just wasting your time on conjecture and fantasy booking, etc., etc. School is in session. Today, this date in pro wrestling history, for January 23rd, 1942. Steve Brody defeats Marshall Estep in St. Joseph, Missouri to win that city's version of the World Junior Heavyweight title. January 23rd, 1948. Sonny Myers defeats Miguel Guzman in Houston, Texas to win the Texas Heavyweight title. January 23rd, 1958. Buddy Rogers defeats Dory Funk Sr. for the Amarillo NWA North American Heavyweight title in Amarillo, Texas, ending Funk's third reign. Happy birthday today. Born in 1960, a true legend in women's wrestling, in professional wrestling. Happy birthday to Leilani Kai. Pehea oe melihini kane, pupule, wiki wiki, mahalo, and aloha. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Leilani Kai. Happy birthday to you. A true legend, a classy lady, and certainly someone who I believe belongs in the Hall of Fame. January 23rd, 1961. Maurice and Paul Vachon defeat Jack Curtis and Wade Vilmer in Charlotte, North Carolina. January 23rd, 1964. Alex Perez and Tojo Yamamoto defeat Carl and Skull von Stroham for the NWA Mid-America Southern Tag Team titles in Chattanooga, Tennessee. January 23rd, 1966. El Mongo. Who was El Mongo? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? That never gets old. El Mongo, a.k.a. Nikolai Volkov, and Gorilla Monsoon defeat Luke Graham and Moondog Lonnie Main to win the World Wrestling Association Tag Team titles in Los Angeles, California. How about that? We roll on here on Chaos Corner for today, this date in pro wrestling history. January 23rd, 1968. Eddie Sullivan defeats Bob Kelly to win the NWA Louisiana Heavyweight title in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. January 23rd, 1969. Yes, I have the honey lemon, sugar-free, Paul's Mentholyptus. In this weather, you have to have it smooth and soothe the pipes. January 23rd, 1969. Moose Cholok and Johnny Powers defeat Doc and Mike Gallagher for the Buffalo NWA United States Tag Team titles in Cleveland, Ohio. The Buffalo NWA US Tag Team titles in Cleveland, Ohio. Let that marinate. January 23rd, 1970. Umon Osaki Ueda defeats Danny Hodge for the NWA Junior Heavyweight title in Tulsa, Oklahoma, ending Hodge's fourth reign. Now, konnichiwa, bitches. Origato from Chaos-san. Let's try that again. Umon Usuki Ueda defeats Danny Hodge for the NWA Junior Heavyweight title. 1970, January 23rd. Ending Hodge's fourth reign. Hodge was a legit badass. January 23rd, 1974. A double world heavyweight title match in Nagasaki, Japan, between NWA champion Jack Briscoe and PWF, All Japan Pro Wrestling champion, Giant Baba, ends in a draw. January 23rd, 1978, the WWF at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, defeats the Golden Terror. Carlos Colon goes over on Dynamite Jack Evans. Special Delivery Jones and Butcher Vachon ends in a 20-minute draw. Steve Kern defeats Luscious Larry Sharp. The Golden Greek, Spiros Arion, defeats Dominic DeNucci by countout. The Olympic strongman Ken Patera defeats Chief J Strongbow by countout. Bob Backlund, Tony Garea, the High Paramount Chief Peter Maivia and Larry Zbyszko defeat Mr. Fuji, Professor Teru Tanaka, Baron Mikhail Cicluna, and Stan the Man Stasiak. Quite the 8-man tag team there. Tatsumi Fujinami defeats Worldwide Wrestling Federation Junior Heavyweight Champion Jose Estrada for said WWF Junior Heavyweight title. Worldwide Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion Superstar Billy Graham defeats the Man of 1,000 Masks, Mil Mascaras. We roll on here at Chaos Corner. January 23rd, 1978. Black Gordman and Great Goliath defeat Carl and Kurt Von Steiger in Sacramento, California to win the San Francisco NWA Tag Team titles. January 23rd, 1981. Steve O defeats Bobby Eaton for the NWA National TV title. January 23rd, 1982. The World Wrestling Federation at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. Here's the card up. Here's the lineup. Here's the card. Here's the lineup. Here's the results. Charlie Fulton defeats Manuel Soto. Steve Travis goes over on Bulldog Brower. Rick Martel defeats the Masked Executioner. Jose Estrada and Barry Hart fought to a draw. Larry Sharp defeats Jerry Johnson. Jesse the Body Ventura defeats S.D. Jones. Adrian Adonis goes over on Tony Gurria. Mr. USA Tony Atlas defeats Killer Khan by disqualification. And the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the World Wrestling Federation champion Bob Backlund defeats Greg the Hammer Valentine. January 23rd, 1983. Kerry Von Erich defeats and ends Harley Race's 4th NWA Missouri heavyweight title reign in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's stay in the year, January 23rd, 1983. Dory Funk Jr. defeats Jack Briscoe in Charlotte, North Carolina for the NWA Mid-Atlantic heavyweight title, ending Briscoe's 5th reign. How about that? Stand by, fans. Stand by. You don't want to go anywhere on this historical day in the world of pro wrestling. I got to stay hydrated, water and lemon. I already had my coffee. I had a little French vanilla this morning, along with a Bruegger's bagel, toasted with cream cheese. Plain bagel. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to have this afternoon. We are mid-morning here on Chaos Corner. But tonight, I'm already brewing up a special crock pot recipe with ground beef, onions, chickpeas, aka some black-eyed peas, some French-cut green beans, a little olive oil, a little black pepper, some garlic, and top it off with an Asian medley vegetable mixture with peppers. How about that for tonight? Yummy. Go to my community page. You'll see everything I post on there, from food to photos to live events to when I go live with all the big organizations today, like AEW, the WWE, MLW, the NWA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, TNA, Impact, whatever it is you want to call it, including my home at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Stand by. We're only 15 minutes in. The filtered straw. Do you like water and lemon? Leave a comment, because I know I do. All right, let me get adjusted here. January 23rd, 1983. Gran Apollo and Pierre Martel defeat the Mercenaries to win the World Wrestling Council World Tag Team titles. And Ponce, Puerto Rico. I'm joking, man. They nada. It's a joke, man. Kayfabe, lighten up. Here's the big one as we roll on here on Chaos Corner for today, this date in pro wrestling history. January 23rd, 1984. Super Monday with the World Wrestling Federation at Madison Square Garden in New York City. 26,292 fans jam into Madison Square Garden with another 4,000 downstairs in the Felt Forum for perhaps the most important event in pro wrestling history. Here's the card. Here's the lineup. Here's the results for that historic night. Today, January 23rd. Tough Tony Gurria pins Jose Luis Rivera by a reverse cross body press. How simplistic. Keep it simple, stupid. As you hear the results from this historic card and how a finisher was a finisher, and you didn't have to hit it with 15 different moves to pin somebody. You could learn something from historical preference here. I get it. The rear view mirror is smaller than the front windshield. With that being said, you can't get to where you're going or even where you are without recognizing where you've been. That rear view mirror is there for a reason. Look back. Remember it. Those who paved the way, respect it, honor it, tradition. Don't stay stuck there. And then turn around and look in that wide open big windshield. Step on the gas and it's full speed ahead. The Invaders versus Mr. Fuji and Tiger Chung Lee ended in a 20-minute time limit draw. The Masked Superstar pins Chief Jay Strongbow after a clothesline. Sergeant Slaughter defeats Ivan Putski by countout. Paul Orndorff pins Salvatore Bellomo after a power slam followed by a pile driver. Get it? I know you understand, all you geeks and goons and virgins and neckbeards and mouth breathers. And no offense, man, lighten up. It's my channel. It's not directed towards my fans. You know who you are. Simple. I say it all the time. World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion, the magnificent Don Morocco, and arriba, Tito Santana fought to a double disqualification. The Mighty Midgets, the Haiti Kid and Tiger Jackson defeat Dana Carpenter, and Pancho Boy in 2 straight falls. Here's the big one. And I just rewatched it like 3 times before I came down today here to the bunker for Chaos Corner on Today in Pro Wrestling History. As I said, the most important event in pro wrestling history. The Immortal, the Incredible, Hulk Hogan pins the World Wrestling Federation champion, the Iron Sheik, after a leg drop to win the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let that marinate. How about that? Let that sink in. History was changed, which led to the war to settle the score, the brawl to settle it all, to WrestleMania 1. And we go on from there. The territories dissolved, and World Wrestling Federation became the mothership in pro wrestling, taking away from the NWA and Jim Crockett Promotions. Let's face it. Even though there was pretty competitive there in the middle to late 80s, it was all done after that until the brief Monday Night Wars in the middle, late 90s. We know who the mothership is now. After which, that match where Hogan pinned the Sheik, I believe was about 9 minutes. Give the Sheik credit. Put him in the Boston Crab, a.k.a. also the Camel Clutch. And then, of course, the Salto Suplex, the Body Slam. The Sheik was no joke, a legit badass. And Hogan looked fucking incredible. Did he not? Put all the personal stuff aside that you've learned about him over the years and remember him for who he was in the business and what he did for this business. And during that bout, after which Gorilla Monsoon, on commentary with Pat Patterson, simply proclaimed, Hulkamania is here. What a night. I remember it like yesterday. I believe I was in the range of 21, 22 in my early 20s. Unbelievable. Not much longer after this, I made my first attempt at briefly attending the Quest facility under the guidance of tough Tony Altamori, Mario Mancini, and all the ilk of that time. That's what you learn here in history. Pro wrestling. From the Guardian of Chaos. What a night. And it certainly changed the business. And the card didn't end there. That was the main event. But you know, back in the 70s and into the 80s, that Vince didn't put his main events on at the end of the show. That's just not how it worked. Today, it's always, I want to be in the last match, the next to last match, because you think that's the main event. That's not the way it worked in the World Wrestling Federation in tradition and history. Matches after that momentous historic occasion where Hogan beat the Sheik on January 23rd, 1984. We continue. World Wrestling Federation at Madison Square Garden. Again, almost 24,000 in the Garden, with another 4,000 in the Felt Forum. Think about that for the time. Really was something. The card continues. Here's the results. Superfly Jimmy Snuka pins Rene Goulet after a flying body press. Andre the Giant and World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Soul Patrol, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, and Soul Man Rocky Johnson defeat the Wild Samoans, Afa, Sika, and Samu, when Andre pins Samu after a big boot and the sit-down splash. So there you have it, fans. The wrap-up for January 23rd, 1984 in the World Wrestling Federation that changed the history of this business forever and made it what it is today, no matter what you people think about Hulk Hogan. Personally, put that aside. We move on here on a time machine on Chaos Corner. January 23rd, 1987, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who was headed to the WWF at the time, loses a loser leaves UWF match to the one-man gang. As a result, Duggan and Terry Taylor were forced to vacate the UWF Tag Team titles. January 23rd, 1988, Mike George defeats Dick Slater in a tournament final in Kansas City, Kansas, to become the first World Wrestling Alliance heavyweight champion. The WWA was created, we'll say, when promoter Bob Geigel, the legendary Bob Geigel, left the NWA in 1987. The WWA closed that same year. How about that? January 23rd, 1989, World Wrestling Federation at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Here's the results, here's the card, here's the lineup. Sam Houston pins Danny Davis after a bulldog. Again, I'm going to refer to the simplicity of the finishes back in the golden era as compared to what the fuck is going on today in 2024. Mr. Perfect defeated Bruce Beefcake by countout when Perfect hit Beefcake with a double axe handle off the apron while Beefcake was distracted by the outlaw Ron Bass. Tim Horner pins Jose Estrada with a reverse roll-up. Bret the Hitman Hart and the Honky Tonk Man were both counted out when they fought outside the ring. We continue here on Chaos Corner. The year, 1989, January 23rd, World Wrestling Federation at the Madison Square Garden continues. Here's the results. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard make their Madison Square Garden debuts, defeating the Rockers, obviously of Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, when Blanchard pinned Jannetty. Rick Rude pins Hillbilly Jim with the Rude Awakening. Hercules Hernandez defeated Ted DiBiase by reverse decision. Here's the caveat. DiBiase pinned Herc with his feet on the ropes, but it was reversed when Virgil, of all people, attacked Hercules after the match. Tito Santana pinned Ron Bass with a roll-up. Ron Bass, the outlaw. The Big Boss Man defeated Hulk Hogan by disqualification after Hogan brought in Boss Man's nightstick and shoved the ref. He hit the leg drop twice and refused to cover the Boss Man, leading to the champion being disqualified and retaining the World Heavyweight title. January 23rd, 1991, Gran Mendoza and Rick Valentine defeat the Super Medicos 1 and 3 and San Juan, Puerto Rico for the WWC Caribbean Tag Team titles. January 23rd, 1993, Colonel De Beers defeats Bart Sawyer in Portland, Oregon for the Championship Wrestling USA TV title. January 23rd, 1994, the Rock and Roll Express defeat Ron and Don Harris for the USWA Tag Team titles in Morristown, Tennessee, ending the Harris brothers' fourth reign. January 23rd, 1996, WCW holds the Clash of Champions at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Here's the results, here's the lineup, here's the card. Lord Steven Regal defeats Chris Benoit. WCW United States Champion, the One Man Gang, defeats the Disco Inferno. The Public Enemy and the Nasty Boys ends in a double disqualification for trying to use tables. Dean Malenko pins Alex Wright. Brian Pillman defeats Eddie Guerrero. WCW Tag Team Champions Sting and Lex Luger defeat the Blue Bloods of Lord William Steven Regal and the Earl Robert Eaton, Bobby Eaton, when Sting made Eaton submit with the Scorpion Deathlock. Conan defeats Psychosis by submission. Ric Flair and the Giant, a.k.a. the Big Show, Paul Wright, defeat Hulk Hogan and WCW Champion, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, when Flair pinned Savage after hitting him with a foreign object given to him by Jimmy Hart. How about that? The Ultimate Powers, Hogan and Macho Man and the World Wrestling Federation end up years later together in WCW. Talk about history and useless tidbits of factual information here on Chaos Corner. We fast forward in the time machine. January 23rd, the year 2000. The WWF holds its 13th annual Royal Rumble in New York City at the Garden, featuring a World Wrestling Federation World Title street fight between Triple H and Cactus Jack in front of 20,000 fans. Triple H pins Foley after 2 pedigrees onto thumbtacks. Triple H, now if I get my facts straight here, there was an interference. Triple H was carried off on a stretcher as Cactus Jack caught up with the stretcher, brought it back to the ring, and hit Triple H with a 2x4. Now here's the caveat of what fans may not remember. During the match, while Cactus Jack was cuffed, the police were trying to uncuff him, The Rock came out and hit Triple H with a chair. That's right, The Rock, who went on to win the Royal Rumble that year in 2000 over The Big Show, the Final Four in that Rumble that year. The Big Show, Kane, Rock, and X-Pac, with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, winning the 2000 Royal Rumble. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. January 23rd, 2003, potato, tomato, potato, whatever the fuck it is. I apologize for cussing. I know I don't have to. It just happens, and I use that word a lot, and I really don't mean to. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. Fuck it. WWE Tough Enough 3 Finals airs on MTV from the World in New York City, which was the former WWF cafe, lounge, bar, whatever you want to call it, with the final winners as John Hennigan, a.k.a. John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Mr. Johnny Monday Night, Johnny Mundo, whatever you want to call him, married to Taya Valkyrie, and Matt Capitelli. January 23rd, 2004, La Park and Shocker defeat Rey Bucanero and Estimo Guerrero for the CMLL Tag Team titles in Mexico City, Mexico. January 23rd, 2005, Scorpio and Doug Williams defeat Misawa and Ogawa for the Noah GHC Tag Team titles in Kobe, Japan. January 23rd, 2010, Jake the Snake Roberts announces on his MySpace account, that's right, MySpace, kind of as bad as Web TV was at one time. Jake announces that he would be retiring at the end of 2010, ending his 35-year career. Now we know currently in 2024, Jake is in AEW managing Lance Archer. January 23rd, 2013, TNA releases Kid Cash. January 23rd, today, the Polish power Ivan Putski, Moria trote Korea, means that I love you so. Moria You remember when he used to sing that in the 70s in Madison Square Garden? Well, the Polish power Ivan Putski, with the incredible Polish hammer, is 83 years old today. Happy birthday, Polish power. January 23rd, we go forward to go back and back to go forward. 1995, the Smoking Guns defeat Bob Holly and the 1-2-3 Kid to win the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles. Now, Bob Holly and the Kid held the belts for one day by beating Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka the night before at the Royal Rumble in a tournament final. How about that for useless tidbits of factual information? We go forward to go back and back to go forward once again here in the time machine. January 23rd, 2016. The Mongolian Stomper, a.k.a. Archie Gouldy, passes away on this day 7 years ago at the age of 79. Now, the Stomper wrestled over 30 years from the 60s to the 90s. When he retired, he was a deputy sheriff in Tennessee. He passed in 2016 after complications from hip surgery. Rest in peace, Stomper. Today, January 23rd, Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard turns 70 today. Wow. He debuted in 1975. Won the NWA National title, the United States title, NWA World Tag Team titles, Jim Crockett, as well as the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles. Member of the original Four Horsemen. And even recently managed FTR in AEW. I think he even made an appearance in Ring of Honor. Happy birthday, Tully Blanchard. Today, January 20th, Shohei Giant Baba would have been 86 today. You know, Baba was a pro baseball player in Japan, and he won the NWA World title 3 times. Now, Baba passed in 1999 at age 61 due to liver failure and complications of colon cancer. Just think, he died and passed in 1999 at 61. Today, on January 23rd, he would have been 86. A true legend, a true pioneer. Rest in peace, Giant Baba. Now, fans, I believe that's all I have for today on this date in pro wrestling history for January 23rd. I had to come on the air today because of its historical recognition and historical meaning in the world of professional wrestling. When Hulk Hogan defeated the Iron Sheik today in Madison Square Garden and set up the wrestling industry and business and put it on its ear. And it's been full speed ever since. There was nothing like it. So much love and respect to all you guys. We're a little over a half an hour. I can't thank you enough for being here. Come on back. Stay tuned to the community page, all my social media platforms, so you can find out what's going on here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. Mahalo, konnichiwa, arigato, aloha, arrivederci, ciao. I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Chaos Corner, the GOC. Don't you dare miss it.